Welcome everybody. Today's video finds us about an hour north of the central part of Bangkok. And we're up here in the Pathum Thani district. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a floating market that's right here on the bank of the Chaophraya River. This is Wat San Chao floating market. It's a small floating market, and it's not really what you think of whenever you think of a floating market. Most people think of floating markets having the little boats and stuff like that. But most of the markets actually were built on land like this. Back in the old days, it was dense jungle through here, so it was difficult for people to move their goods. So what they would do is they would use the rivers and move their goods by boat, and then people would meet up at a certain location along the bank of the river, and then they would do all their business and stuff like that. And that's what this is. This is more of a riverside market, but they do call it a floating market. So let's walk through here. We'll first take a look at the Mon-style temple, and then we'll go into the market and see what we see. This is the covered part of the floating market right here. And if you walk straight through, that's the Chao Phraya over there, the Chao Phraya River. And then there's a couple Chinese shrines here. And then there's this really cool Mon-style temple that is right here. This is Wat San Chao. We'll walk in here and we'll see this, and then we'll go into the floating market. Now what makes this a Mon-style temple is kind of the styling that you'll see up there with the flowers, and it also has a little bit of a different layout. The chetties are a little bit different that you'll see, like this right here. This is the ordination hall. These still are the Bua Sima stones, and quite cool. The little porch that's out front has two doors and a standing Buddha, and it has the floral patterns around it. And then it does feel different when you go inside, and the Buddha will be a little bit different. And you see the Buddha has the red lips, which is kind of the Mon style. And the Mon came out of Myanmar. There's a lot of history of them settling in this region. A lot of the Thai kings, back in the old days, whenever they fought the Burmese, they had Mon allies, and then they would reward them for their loyalty with like land and stuff like that to come over here and settle. And there's still quite a few communities in Bangkok in the area from here to like Kanchanaburi with a lot of the Mon descendants. All right, so that's this little tiny temple here. Let's go into the market now. I tell you, it is scorching hot today. Oh, it's hot. It's gonna rain hard this afternoon. It gets so hot. When it gets this hot during rainy season, at about 3:30, 4 o'clock, it will come down buckets. Now there is more to the temple. There is all the crematorium, everything else over that way, and it is an active temple. So there will be monks in residence here, and then there's more of the temple over this way. And this is what it looks like underneath the covered part. So up here there will be like the regional favorites. Most of it will be like the normal Thai food that you see, the normal snacks and fish and all of that, but there will be a couple of the favorites that they like to make up in this part of Thailand. So we have a mix here of smoothies and the fresh fruit. Get the pineapple and the guava. This guy over here is taking it hard. He's racked out. I don't know what's she making over here, or what's he making. Looks like maybe the soybean stuff, I'm not sure. And then they have some of the like deep fried Chinese pastry type things there. Yeah, there's lots of stuff, and then there's some of the famous restaurants over here. Let's take a look at this one. So this is the little vegetable snack that they make. This is where they prep everything, and they're in the back making more of it. Those are like 35 baht for a container, and it's quite strong smelling. I don't really care for that little snack. And over here, this is from the bloom of the lily. They make it into the soups and stuff. And then there's quite a bit more over there with like sit-down restaurants. So we have some of the little snacks right here, and they make them up in these pots over here. So we have the little helper here. He's helping Mom out. Mom's over here making some of those little vegetable snack things. And when I came up, he was quick to tell me how much they were. They were 20 baht for a little container of that. And she's grilling up some of the meat on a stick, the moose satay. And they have a huge place here to sit. So they have all the little restaurants around the outside here. And then you can sit there and have lunch in the middle. And if you walk right through the market, this brings you out here to the Chao Phraya. So you see the locals over here feeding the fish, having the best time. And out on the Chao Phraya, you see a few of the boats. The guys are out there fishing. You have to be a certain distance away from the temple to fish, otherwise it's bad. Brings about the bad karma. That's because everybody feeds these fish, but if you're a certain distance away, it's okay to fish. Yeah, you can see a few of those guys in there. Oh, they're just thick. Feeding them the bread, feeding them the little fish pellets and stuff. All right, let's go back into the market. The market's over there, the covered part. And then over here is one of the Chinese temples. You can see all the lanterns and all the little dragons and stuff like that. I'm not going to go up in there. I got yelled at last time for filming inside there. For some reason, they won't let you film in the middle. They do have a pagoda, and they have all these like little alligators all through here. Over here with an assembly line making the little sauce. And these guys here selling the lottery tickets. And a bunch of vendors right here along the fenced row. And then this is more of that little vegetable dessert thing, vegetable snack. So those are 30 baht there. And that's what this region is famous for. They really like those. And she's making up some of these little pancakes here. You can see she's grilling it up back there, putting her toppings on. That little cream, that little egg dessert, the foie tong. She put some raisins and stuff in there, a little bit of butter. And then you can buy them here. They have the smaller ones and then the big ones. So those are like 20 baht for those. And she's making something up over here. Has some of those little rolled desserts. And we got some deep fried bananas and taro and the peanuts. And she's got some of the little corn on the cob. And this here is like a little egg or a little rice noodle dessert thing that has kind of a lemony taste. It's kind of like a fish and a lemon. Oh, and then here these are 35 baht. And she makes them up over there in her little press. And then we got some toys for the kids. Fried chicken and the mangoes. Oh, these are nice. So those are usually 20 to 25 baht or so for the mango. And some of the pork skin and fish skin. And more drinks. Yeah, this isn't a bad little market. It's more of reasonable pricing than if you went to like Dam Non Saduk or some of the big famous floating markets. This is more of where the Thais go. So you get more of the just regular Thai pricing. So you got banana chips, the Chinese dessert, the Khanom Kai, which is that little dessert, and the quail eggs, everything else here that she's making up. Now there's quite a bit more to this floating market. We'll walk around. There's another section to it. This is the covered when you first come in, and then we'll walk over this way. You can see there's another 3 more rows of vendors. Grilling up the squid right here. You get all the chilies. And so we'll walk kind of around over here and see this part of the market. And there's vendors all around here. Oh, the Thais just absolutely love places like this because there's food, and if you want to get like in touch with the Thai culture, it's about food. It's such a part of their daily life that it's kind of polite to ask you like yin kao. That's like saying like, have you eaten yet? It's really a polite way to like greet somebody. I tell you, it is scorching hot out here. You can get the flowers and stuff. Looks like they have their place to pray. And the Buddha image there. The old man, the Luang Pu To. So we won't be able to film inside of there. We'll just walk through, but we can see what it looks like. Yeah, so they're in there praying. There's actually some kind of cool old pictures of the community here. Looks like there was a pretty large Chinese settlement here on the bank of the Chao Phraya River back in the day. Let's go back down through here now. It looks like there's more of the regular shopping stuff here. They do have the smoothies and fresh fruit. Get some lottery tickets if you want. House plants. And some of the little sesame seed snacks and peas and rice and peanuts and stuff. Those look pretty nice. And then over here we have some little house plants. He's watering them. And then those little red tassels. And get some key hooks and the little things for the shrines in the house. A couple of little amulets. And there's a little bit of seating here. This is kind of the small like overflow from the regular part of the floating market. You can go over there and access the river also. We got household items here. Looks like more kind of scattered out all through here. Some of the little bracelets and jewelry. Fish food. Oh, and you can buy the fish over here to release into the water. So you see here they got the little tadpoles and the eels and stuff. And you can get them here and then release them into the river. It makes a little bit of merit. More stuff here that you can get, the little amulets and stuff like that. So you'll see these, people will be wearing these around their necks. Be one that has a lot of power for them. Really lucky. Making some signs up. And then they have some women's clothing, stuff like that here. Yeah, nice little market. It's not overly huge, but it's kind of fun to come over here and walk around. Yeah, so they actually have quite a few pictures of this guy right here. He was inside that little Chinese shrine. I don't know if he's one that kind of founded this community or what his claim to fame is, but he's important to them around here. So if anybody knows, let me know in a comment if he was important here in this community. Looks like they're doing a little remodeling here. And there is quite a bit more to this temple all through here. There's other chetties and stuff like that. They have a little prayer hall over here with the little nagas. They have the buildings up on stilts over here, the monk quarters. There's an old bell tower. They have like a flagpole here as that mythical bird. It's kind of cool. What you have over here, these are actually the little monk quarters. So pretty Spartan here. They do have electricity and stuff like that. And you see they got their robes. And then it's right here, there's kind of a cool looking little Mon style chetty. And you can see how they bowed it in the middle. This is a little bit different styling than you'll normally see. And then they have a little wee hand here. And then they have a more modern ordination hall here that has the Garuda up there and the angels and stuff. Over here is the crematorium. And then the places for the families and everybody to meet for the funerals. And then more of the temple buildings. Let's stick our head in here. I've never seen this part of the temple. I have a little pond with a lot of the fish swimming around. This looks like a reclining Buddha in here. Oh, it is. This little wee hand has a reclining Buddha that's about 20 feet long or so. Oh, I didn't expect this. I've been to this floating market before, but I never wandered back into this part of the temple. You can see how the building is constructed. Pretty basic Thai style. Yeah, that's really cool. And you can just come over here if you're in the mood to pray or whatever to it, then it's right here. Well, that'll finish up our video over here at this Wat San Chao floating market. This is pretty interesting. It's not the biggest and it's not the flashy floating market, but it's more of like what the Thais want to enjoy. So if you want to kind of come over here and enjoy a little bit of, you know, the local community, come over here to this floating market. It's about an hour outside of Bangkok, so it's a little harder to get to, but I think it's worth it. It's quite cool. I've been here before and I enjoy coming over here. The people are friendly. There's a lot of food selection and stuff like that to choose from. So definitely come here if you get a chance. If you enjoy the video, smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and you get to see some more stuff like this. And leave me a comment, tell me what you think. If you've been here or have any questions or if you saw any food that you liked or whatever, let me know. And until next time, from over here in Pathum Thani, north of Bangkok, remember, life is a journey. So until next time, enjoy.